Welcome to A Dose of D. I'm D. So, it's my first video on my channel, and so basically, I will be lifestyle vlogging, letting y'all know what goes on in my day-to-day life, modeling, video shoots, basically anything y'all want to know, I'm here to show y'all. Let's get it. Was my surgery. It's something that I'm like open about, but I never really put out there. I don't really talk about it too much on social media. But if you ask me in person or if you see me like on the street, I'll tell people about it. It really doesn't matter. So let y'all know everything y'all need to know about traveling abroad for surgery and basically surgery in general, BBL, lipo, breast augmentation. This is the video for you. I'm definitely not no pro, but I can definitely tell you my experience. Let's get started. But first, I had to write it down because I tried to do this video just talking and I went on and on and on and on and on, and don't nobody want to hear me talk forever. So I have my little list. So what did I have done? I had BBL, Brazilian butt lift, and that came from lipo from my stomach, from my flanks, and from my back. And then I got a breast augmentation with implants in my babies. So basically I had to gain weight for my surgery. I was around like 130. I was always very like slender. I gained to like 154. I had surgery at about 152. I came out of surgery at 152, and now I'm at about 163 or something like that. They took the fat from my stomach and from my back and put it in my booty and in my hips, and now a bitch is killing shit. You feel me? You feel me? Y'all feel me? All right. So why did I get it done? My why. I was originally only gonna get my breast done because I mean, like I said, I've always been like athletic. I've always been slender. I was not really tripping on my body. But I wanted to pay cash for my breast, and so I had got onto Facebook and I was looking at like groups. I was looking at like plastic surgery in the US, breast augmentation in Miami, just different groups to try to get a feel for things. I was getting the feel for different plastic surgeons in the United States that could do my breasts. While I was in one of these groups, I believe it was like plastic surgery in the US, a lady had said, oh, well, I went to the Dominican Republic and I got everything done for the same cost that y'all just getting y'all's titties done. And I was like, huh? What's the group called? Asking for it myself. So whatever, she gave me the group name. If y'all want the group name, I'll put it in the comments somewhere, or I'll make a whole nother video about it, Facebook groups entirely, because it's such an important part of the process. You can't really just go off of like Instagram posts or what the doctor tells you. You got to get into these groups and doctor specific groups. Like say if you're choosing between 5 doctors, get into 5 groups on Facebook from each doctor, because you get to see people's personal experiences. Obviously a doctor is not going to post about the deaths they have, about the botches they have, about the infections they have. So get into these groups and see real feedback, real live feedback, real-time feedback, people who are currently in the hospital, people who are currently battling with infections, people who are currently battling with, you know, big keloid scars or botch scars. Get into these groups and really do some research, which is what I did. I started my research in about August 2018, and I didn't have surgery until April of 2019. So I put a lot of research and time behind it. I put deposits for 2 different doctors. So basically I wasted $500 for nothing, because deposits are usually like $500. But it's worth it for your peace of mind, your safety, and your results. The cost. So the cost of everything, when I went to my doctor, he wasn't popping. Like, he was barely up and coming. He had been a heart surgeon, and he was transferring over to the plastic surgery side. So he had been doing it for about a year. But what made me choose him is because he was really good at the breasts, and breast is like was all that I wanted, really. So he was having a special at that time, which he no longer offers now at all. He's popping now. He's a big name now. He's up there now. But I paid $5,200. That was for BBL, breast augmentation with implants, and my recovery home. So I'm gonna go into more about my doctor a little bit later. I'm gonna try to follow what I got going on here. So what goes into the cost was the recovery home, which I stayed at Jade Recovery Home. They were amazing. I love them. I still speak to the owner, Mildred. I still speak to my 2 favorite nurses there. Another thing that you need to factor into cost is your overnight nurse. They usually give you rates for 12 hours or 24. I paid for the 24. She stayed way longer than 24 hours, which I did end up compensating her for, but this is why finding a good nurse who doesn't care about necessarily the money, that cares about the people, because she could have left me alone after the 24 hours, but she stayed with me. Her name is Sarah. If y'all want her information, I'll put it somewhere in the comments. Some other things that I paid for was my flight. The sooner you book, obviously, the better it is. I want to say I paid probably like $400 for my going and $200 for my coming back. So about $600. I booked them early. I stayed for 11 days. I believe when you have 2 procedures like BBL and breast augmentation, you have to stay for 10 days. Like if you have open incisions. I stayed for 11 days. My stay was covered with Jade because it was into the cost. I paid for my driver. His name is David. I strongly recommend him because the locals know him. He makes you feel safe. He barters prices, like, because these people know that you're not from there, so they're gonna raise their prices when you go to the market. Something that should be $2, they're gonna charge you $6-7 for. They're gonna try to get over on you. I've heard of people getting robbed over there. I've heard of people, I've heard of a lot of stories. I mean, you're in a whole other country with a lot of money on you, and they know this. This is predominantly, Santo Domingo is a predominantly surgery. You don't go to vacation there. So with that being said, I paid my driver $125. That included picking me up from the airport, dropping me back off at the airport, taking me on the day of my surgery, picking me up when I'm done with surgery, and I believe it included 1 appointment. For anything else, like I went to the beach, I went to more appointments, I went to my massage appointments, I went to go see, my homegirls over there who also had surgery. I paid per trip for that, but I definitely would recommend David. I'll put his contact information if y'all want it. The locals know him. He's fair, he's honest, and he looks out for you. I would not recommend nobody else because I love David and I'll go hard for David, and I recommend Jade. Any other cost that you might take into consideration would be your massages. I personally would go with John. He goes hard. He's gonna have you looking right. He is a little bit more, I'm not gonna say he's expensive because compared to like the US cost, he's cheap, but a lot of people in the Dominican don't charge the price that he charges, but it's worth it. And he has you looking right, and he stays busy. So as soon as you know that you want to go to the Dominican, book him first, because honestly, like, listen to what I'm telling you. Please listen to me. John is the GOAT. Getting around in the Dominican Republic, like I said, I hired my driver, David. He's the GOAT. There was even a time that I had hired a different driver because he was cheaper. I ended up calling David and being like, David, come pick me up, because not everyone is trustworthy. Not everyone is going to get the job done right. And David speaks perfect English, translate for you, help you with currency exchange, is like a bodyguard because he stays at places with you. He's just the GOAT. Just go with David, okay? Just listen to what I'm telling you. If you want to sightsee while you're there, he'll take you, make sure you're good. So next was my doctor's experience. My doctor is Felix almanzar. So basically some of the main focuses that you want to like look into when you're going to a doctor would probably be like communication, results, and post-op care. Basically, all I had were results from him. I'm not trying to bash the man. He seems like a really great man. I don't know, but basically the communication post-op was not there. There was an incident that I had where I felt like my breast wasn't healing correctly, and he really didn't respond to my messages. Over there in the Dominican, most doctors only respond off of WhatsApp. They don't really have like a formal way of communicating via email or anything like that. This is all through WhatsApp. So, you can see when people read your messages or ignore them and stuff. And basically, he just kind of like ignored my messages after he got my money. Or maybe he didn't think my breast issue was that important to him. But I didn't know that. This is my first surgery. And so he really didn't do a good job of calming my nerves and, getting me over that hump. Would I go to him again? No. Just because that lack of, personal experience. I feel like he should have been there more for me. He should have explained things a little bit better to me. Because I didn't tell anybody that I was going to the Dominican, I didn't really have too much support. I didn't have too much resources. This is all by myself. So I feel like he should have stepped in and really guided me through this process a little bit better. My personal experience and my pain. So let me tell you. So I took the little blue pill or whatever. This pill knocks you out. He put me on like a silver table. I was laying flat down. I took the pill, woke up in my regular room. I just thought I was the shit because I had no pain. I was like, look, I'm that bitch. I ain't got no pain. I'm finna up when I get back to the United States. That feeling lasts probably about 5 hours, because after the 5 hours was over, it felt like a truck hit me. And ooh, the nurse that I hired, thank God bless her soul, because she helped me with everything. She helped me walk. She helped me wipe my booty. She did everything for me. I love her. Sarah, you are the best, and I cannot even repay you. I was in so much pain. I was begging God to just do something with the pain. I was making deals. You know, when you're making deals, you just sitting there like, God, I swear to God, if you just let this pain go away, I will never ever have sex again, bro, ever. With your lying ass. Amen. Like, that's the type of shit I was on. So with that being said, that type of pain lasted for like a week. I was in moderate pain for about 2 weeks. Your doctor will tell you to try to go to your primary care doctor in the United States and have them prescribe you like pain medications like Percocets or hydrocodones or something, but not every primary care doctor is comfortable with that. So, I mean, I'm not going to condone anything. I'm just saying what I saw, what I witnessed. But when I was at the recovery home, there was girls who, you know, didn't finish their pain medication, didn't need them, and was offering to, you know, for girls to take them off of them. Y'all get what I'm saying? It's just what I saw. I don't know. Not condoning nothing. But let me sip this wine. That ain't none of my business. Pain medication is definitely very important, though. If you can't get a hold of anything, I would definitely recommend you to get arnica, the tablets, and the gel or the lotion, whatever you can get your hands on. I recommend Tylenol. I recommend definitely a sleeping aid, like some type of sleeping pill, because it is very hard to sleep while your back is itching. If you get lipo, everything itches when your nerves are trying to like reconnect or whatever. I'm not no doctor. I don't know what the fuck is going on. But when shit is trying to reconnect, it itches so bad. And you just, honestly, I think the itching might be the worst part of the whole surgery. The itching and the drain. If your doctor does drains, you're going to need pain medication. Let me tell you this, because that drain is the devil. If I don't get to heaven and I go straight to hell, I know them drains is waiting for me, because that was the worst experience of my life. And they don't take them off until right before you leave, really. So you really, it burns. It's like if you move the wrong way, it burns, it hurts. That's the worst part. Once you took that out, I felt so good. But I was stiff for probably about a month. If you work like a regular desk job, like you don't do too much, you don't exert too much energy, I would say you could go back to work within 2 to 3 weeks. But if you're like active and you like have to pick stuff up and you have to like do things and you have to be up, because you're gonna be very exhausted. Like even just walking to the restroom will get you tired for like the first month. But if your job requires, like if you're like a police officer or like a dancer or something, I would say you need like probably like a month and a half at least off, because you're so stiff and you can't. I would not recommend that. I thank God that I didn't work at that time, because I just got to sit and heal. But I would say if you have a normal like desk job and you don't do too much, I would say 3 weeks. But if you have a job that requires like force and energy and requires you to be up and focused, I would give it a month and a half. I saved a total of like 12K just specifically for surgery. So I had a little bit of wiggle room. I spent about 7K there in the Dominican Republic with my surgery, with massages, with my drivers, with eating out, with pedicures, and with all that stuff. I paid about 7.2. So I had about 3,000-4,000 to play with once I got back into the United States. And so I got to have my massages. I would definitely recommend staying in your faja, getting it altered every single week, at least a half an inch. If I'll tell y'all one thing, stay in that faja. Stay in that faja. If you don't listen to nothing I say today, stay in that faja. You're gonna hate it. It's gonna be your worst enemy, but that's the only way you're gonna look good. Because I know you see women that look like linebackers. I know y'all see women that look like Donkey Kong. I know y'all see women with pamper booties looking like they need to go back and do a redo. You want me to tell you why? Because they don't wear their faja. Wear your faja. Wear your faja. Wear your faja. Y'all hear me? Okay, now that I got that out the way, second most important is your massages. Even when you get back, save enough for your massages. Like if you don't do anything, save enough for your fajas, your massages, because anytime you drink, like say if I'm drinking this glass of wine, if I was still going through the healing process, I would have swelled up so bad, like in 15 minutes. Sugar will have you swelling up. Anything fried will have you swelling up. Please just listen to me. Wear your faja and get your massages so that you just feel better sooner. Within 6 months, I was pretty much back to normal because, you know, I tried to, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I stopped wearing my faja religiously probably like on month 3. I would start saying like, oh, I'm just gonna wear it Monday through Friday during the day or whatever. But nonetheless, I still wore it. I didn't just completely take it off. Even now to this day, like if I want to go to like an event that's like important to me or that I want to look good for, I wear it the whole day before the event and it still has me looking right afterwards. So restrictions, I would just like recommend y'all eat good for the first 6 months because your weight will fluctuate drastically. When I got back, I was 142. I lost weight because I couldn't really eat because of the faja. I went to like 145. And I've gotten all the way up to like 173. I fluctuated a lot. I would definitely say watch what you eat because honestly, the weight does go to the right places, but you can gain too much and it gets into your face and your arms and y'all don't want to deal with all that. Just believe me, just try to eat right. So yeah, that's all that I have written down. If y'all have any other questions, comment, let me know. I'm more than happy to give y'all any information y'all need. I do plan on going for a round 2. It's not on my priority list. I'll probably get my teeth done next. So when I do that, I'll definitely make a video. I'll definitely tell y'all the research I did. Definitely get into some Facebook groups and research. Don't go off, you know, I said I went to Felix almanzar. Don't go rush and go say I'm gonna go to Felix almanzar. Do your research because every body type is different and not all doctors are made for you. You know, my other favorite doctors were Dr. Duran, Dr. Cabral. Dr. Cabral has killed some people though, so if you're not on the risky side, don't be trying to go to Cabral, but he be having girls look perfect. But like I said, do your own research. Find out what you're comfortable with. I went with nobody. I went just by myself. I really didn't tell nobody. I booked everything on my own. I didn't have no input from anybody. So my situation might be different if you have somebody going with you. I would definitely recommend for you to have someone going with you. But also there's so many women. Don't be intimidated of going alone because there's so many women also going alone. Basically what I did and what other females do, they post in these Dominican groups and they say, hey, my surgery is on April the 1st of 2019. I'll be staying at Jade Recovery Home from April 1st to April 11th. Anybody going at the same time as me? And girls will comment like, oh, I'm going to be at Jade from the 4th to the 15th. Oh, I'm going to the same doctor as you on the 3rd. So then y'all can kind of like link and kind of like stick together and like build that bond. I went with like, I don't know, a group of like 10 girls that we all knew and we was all checking on each other because they were all going alone. We were making sure we were good, making sure we were straight, making sure we were, you know, healthy. I still keep in touch with 2 of those women. I keep in touch with all of them like on social media, but I'm really close to 2 of the women still. So that did help me create bonds that I didn't have before. But yeah, so other than that, I did not have no complications with my surgery. I didn't have no issues really. I had like probably one of the best experiences. I'm glad I didn't because like I said, my doctor wasn't very communicative. He was not really there for me. So I'm very blessed that I didn't have any issues. Other costs that you can incur over there would be like oxygen chambers if you have issues, extra blood bags if you lose too much blood. You could have to go into another surgery. There was a girl who had to have 2 surgeries. So just don't go with just the bare minimum. Have some extra saved. At least let one family member know that you're going so that if they need to send you money, they are prepared to do that. Because you're in a whole other country and you're not supposed to take more than $10,000 with you on any flight. So with that being said, if you're going with somebody, have them take another 10 or to have them take another set amount of money or have someone in the United States ready to send you some money. Keep in mind that the Dominican is predominantly Spanish speaking, so you will either have to use a translating app or go with someone who knows Spanish, or hire my driver. Shout out David. He'll do everything for you. So for those of y'all who have ever seen me out or whatever, let me show y'all what I look like. I don't know if y'all can see me. I'm probably like 155 right now. So this is what I look like. This is what my boobies look like. This is what my boobies look like.
Oh, look at her. She just swears she cute.
I love my results. I don't have any regrets. A lot of people ask me, because I'm not rich then. I'm not rich now. So a lot of people ask me, like, how'd you save the money? Basically, I had my regular 9-to-5 job, and then I got a bartending job. And so everything from my bartending job, I just put it in a shoebox. Save. Within 3 months, I have my $10,000. If it's something that you want, go and get it. Don't worry about nobody else says. If y'all have any questions, like I said, put them in the comments. I'll get back to y'all. If I left anything out, I'll make another video, an updated video. Just let me know.